Our next story is brought to you by NordVPN. Help secure your web traffic and protect you from snoops, spies, and anyone else from stealing or monetizing your data. All for 75% off at nordvpn.com/TYT. Use the code TYT and get a free month now.
The Senate has voted in favor of the 9/11 Victims Fund, and it will now be permanent. So the first responders who heroically went in to help with relief efforts and to help save individuals who were victimized by that tragic event will have funding to get health care that they need, to get services that they need. And this is great news because remember, Senator Mitch McConnell didn't even want to bring this up for a vote until Jon Stewart shamed him into doing so. Now, there were only two individuals who voted against this, Senator Rand Paul and Mike Lee. But before we get to them, I do want to show you a short clip of Chuck Schumer prior to the vote happening.
I can't do justice to the years upon years of work by the first responders, by labor leaders, by advocates that led to this moment. But to suffice it to say, this is not a day of joy for them or for this bill's authors. Rather, it's a day of relief. For 18 years, those first responders, some of whom are here in the gallery, have watched their brothers and sisters get sick because they rushed bravely to the towers at Ground Zero.
This was obviously the right thing to do. I mean, when you really think about it, for so long, lawmakers exploited that tragedy for their own political agenda. And to turn, for our Congress to turn its back on the first responders when they need support the most is just disgusting. So I'm happy that the Senate has passed this permanent 9/11 Victims Fund. Again, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. To make this such a long, drawn-out process, while every step of the way cloaking themselves with "we support the first responders, we love cops, go blue," and all that. And like, imagine going back to that day, and you have all these people rushing to go help, and you're stop and be like, "Hold up, you're gonna get really sick, and then you're gonna spend the next 2 decades fighting to get the U.S. government, which otherwise loves showering money into people who are serving its country." They say, yeah, it's gonna be really hard, and you better hope that there's a political comedian who's gonna help you out.
It's amazing, it really is. And I love that you brought up just the military spending. We spend so much on the military, very little of that money goes to our soldiers. Soldiers make a little over $19,000 when they first begin in the military, and it's disgusting. I mean, they're risking their lives, they're put in these dangerous situations, and we keep hearing this nonsense about how our lawmakers want to support the troops. If you really want to support the troops, take care of them, both when they're in the military and also later when they're veterans and they need the health care and the resources to live decent lives. Now, again, there were 2 senators who voted against this. The final vote came after the Senate voted down amendments from Senators Rand Paul from Kentucky and Mike Lee from Utah that would have limited the scope of the bill. Paul and Lee were the only 2 votes against the bill. And of course, Senator Rand Paul, who voted in favor of the $2 trillion Trump tax cuts, claims that it's all about the funding. That's what I'm really concerned about. Quote, "While I support our heroic first responders," no you don't.
No, you don't.
"I can't in good conscience vote for legislation which to my dismay remains unfunded. We have a nearly $1 trillion deficit and $22 trillion in debt. Spending is out of control." Well, you shouldn't have voted in favor of cutting taxes to the tune of $2 trillion over the next decade.
Yeah, like take it up with your party, man.
It's pathetic.
And I support our first responders. Ask them to list one way that they want you to support them. I think I know what it's gonna be. I don't think they're really interested in any of the other ways. I think this is the one that's important to them.
Well, hey, you made it this far. You must really like the Young Turks. Thank you, we really appreciate you. Now, another easy way to keep supporting us also helps keep your internet activities and data private, all with a push of the NordVPN app. Head to nordvpn.com/TYT right now for 75% off of your next 3 years.